What's up, guys? What's going on? It's another Friday, which means another Star Wars unboxing. We're honestly almost finished with the first shelf. Then on to the Cobra officers. It's been a pretty long road. So yeah, for now we're finished with Super 7 Turtles. Until more comes out that I want. Definitely do need to pick up maybe a couple more. We'll kind of see how it goes. But today we got 4 lamb to finish the second row. Mig Mayfield. And Jaxxon. It actually looks pretty damn cool. Three more Star Wars Black Series figures. Unboxing. First row done, second row about to be done, third row will be done in just a bit. I am waiting on Greedo. He is coming from Texas, so it's taking a little bit longer because of their snowstorm and whatnot, which I completely understand. You know, there are things that you can't control, and weather is one of them. We do have a lot of things coming in this week and next week. And a surprise Lego coming in, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. So next week we will be unboxing Masterverse, Despera, and Dragstar for Wednesday. Friday, continue Star Wars Black Series with the pirate and a video game character. We do, like I said, have Greedo coming. We have one more character to finish up third line. Then we have 1, 2, 3. Well, 6 more characters to finish up, or to finish for now the fourth line. That leaves 3 empty spaces. Like I said, 2 of which is already done deal. Just gotta wait on the Black Series to make the characters. The last one, I'm not exactly sure who's gonna be filling it. That is going to be a wait and see. So probably 3 more videos. Star Wars videos. Take a small break by unboxing the G.I. Joe Vamp with clutch, or possibly the Ostraker. One of their 2 vehicles. And then head straight into the officers. If you haven't seen, we got some great render drawings for G.I. Joe Day, February 1st on Sunday. We now have confirmation that Red Dog and Taurus, a 2-pack, is on its way. Can't wait for that to be pre-orderable. I'll be honest, everything that was shown, there's only one character I don't want to pre-order, and that's the Ninja Force Zartan. Now, don't get me wrong, he looks great. He looks cool with the mohawk, the biker jacket. But that's not the Zartan I grew up with. Hydro Viper. Can't wait for him. Looks amazing. After Hydro Viper, to complete my Cobra dive team, I need EO version 2. Hopefully they can do a good version of that. We have Zanya, Zartan's daughter, who looks like a completely redone molding, because she's gonna be tiny. Like, seriously tiny. Teenage size. She's coming with the chameleon, which is another insane thing. We have Airtight finally coming. We have Overkill finally. The head of the, the officer of the Bats, the commander of the Bats. Truthfully, he looks fantastic. A lot better than I thought they would do for classifieds. And then there is the secret render that they did not reveal. A silhouette of a character. Now, I know a lot of people have said it's Wild Bill. Frankly, I don't think it is. And I'll tell you why. So, for Wild Bill, I would think it would be a retro Wild Bill. Honestly, I hope it is, because I'm definitely a Wild Bill fan. But obviously this character is important. Otherwise they would have shown this character. And this character is not a retro, because none of the characters that were shown are retro variants. So I did hear a theory from just another fan that it could be a Legacy Texas Ranger, which I honestly would be cool. That would be pretty awesome. When I first saw the render, I immediately thought Wild Bill. But after a couple minutes, it just became, if it's Wild Bill, it would be a retro version, and I don't think they'd actually show a retro version while showing other retro versions. With that being said, my mind kind of went in a whole different direction. And if G.I. Joe Classified actually did do this, holy crap, that would be the ultimate game changer. So, a while back, G.I. Joe released a figure for the anniversary of Matt Tracker from Mask. Completely other cartoon, completely other character, completely has nothing to do with G.I. Joe, but this sort of talked about Mask and G.I. Joe being a version of both G.I. Joe and Cobra, but more of a spy version, which would mean anybody in Mask could be in G.I. Joe, anybody in Venom could be in Cobra. For the most part, I would expect most of them to be Dreadnoks for Venom. However, knowing this, and knowing my mind started thinking of two characters that was introduced later on in G.I. Joe, for the DEF, Drug Enforcement Agency Foundation. So the leader of the DEF was Bulletproof. Now, the character itself, there was a rumor that it was supposed to be modeled after Bulletproof Vest, the commander of COPS, Central Organization of Police Specialists. And there was rumors that it was, but Hasbro lost the license. So they changed the character white, kept his bulletproof name. I believe kept his first name, just changed his last name. Made him look just a bit different. However, they also introduced another character in DEF, Barricade, which again is very similar to the COPS character, Barricade. So I started thinking the possibility of maybe this cowboy silhouette is Sundown from COPS, which would mean, Hasbro, I believe, made the toys for Cops and Crooks. But can you imagine Classifieds not only coming out with G.I. Joe characters, with Cobra characters, with Red Shadow characters, with all these other related G.I. Joe characters, but now the possibility of Cops and Crooks in Classifieds, the possibility of Mask and Venom in Classifieds. Not to mention, Gem and the Holograms and the Misfits were both acknowledged in the Cobra Code Slither. Obviously, Gem and the Holograms, obviously, the Misfits aren't made for battle. But could you imagine Hasbro actually making characters from all these lines in the classified version? Literally, that would change the entire scenario in collectors. We're just here expecting G.I. Joe, and then we're getting all these other characters from other shows. Do I think it's Sundown? Honestly, no, but that's the first thing that went through my mind after Wild Bill. I do think it's a possibility that it is a legacy character and it's a Ranger. I think that is the biggest possibility. It would be weird because I would think police, fire, I would think a medic, and I would think a Coast Guard would be the two closing that out. But we have to wait and see, I guess. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff coming. Oh, things are going insane. But we got this. So let's get into this. So not too bad. 4-long and an assault rifle or a laser rifle, a huge laser rifle. Definitely having a hard time standing. But not bad. Now, Mig's, however, comes with a little bit more. There are 2 versions of this character. Jesus Christ. So the original version is the version that he is with in the Mandalorian, wearing that transporter force. Jesus. So he has 4 of these pistols. honestly, I love the actor. Oh, look, it flips up. Yeah, that's pretty insane. He did a great job. Portraying this character. Oof. But I like this version better because this was when he was the pirate. Then we got Jaxxon with only 2 pistols, which is good. Look, it's Bucky O'Hare. He's got 2 places to put the guns. But he should at least hold 1 gun. I swear to you guys, the more we open, the more it seems like these guys can barely stand. See? Let's hope he stands now. So in Empire Strikes Back, there were several bounty hunters. The only one I'm missing is Zacchaeus. Forlom was there. I-88, Dengar, Bosk, and Boba Fett. Now we got Migs as his pirate form. We got Jaxxon ready to smuggle stuff. I do love the detail in his face. Great outfit. Migs has some pretty great detail. The 5 o'clock shadow. It's insane that he has like 5 weapons on him. Forlom is just Forlom. He does look like the other character. Not Zero. But it's a pretty good collection. So we definitely are having problems with Forlom and Jaxxon. Everybody else seems to be able to stand alright though. And this is getting to be insane if we can keep them standing. Now remember, in front of Lando and Kree will be the 2 assassins. Sand People, the 2 girls. But on the side of Jaxxon, we will have Dash. On the side of me, we will have Captain, or Pirate Captain, Brutus. Which leaves 3 characters open. Yep, so we might have more room. But all in all, this is kind of looking pretty fantastic. All my favorite characters without the big characters of Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, Vader. Although Vader will have to be in the Sith. So next week we got 2 more. Then 2 more. And then maybe we can put the last character in there. When they make them, this would be pretty interesting. We're almost there though, guys. Then remember next week, Masterverse. And then we're just going to start with 3 G.I. Joes, Armored Cobra Commander, and the 2 Iron Grenadiers, Metalhead and Darkhan. Things are definitely going to become insane once we start these. But remember, first one of those. Not sure which one. Let's hope they keep standing. These will be open soon. This should look pretty insane once it's finished. Anyway, guys, thanks for staying through this unboxing. Let me know if you guys picked up Jaxxon or Forlom, and if your characters are having problems standing straight. Take care, be safe, talk to you guys soon. Aloha.